Well, hello and welcome back to Faith, Philosophy and Life with me, Mr. Shelton. Behind me is my living room. Now, I wish that was the case. This is a state's room from Buckingham Palace where the Queen lives. Okay, so this is a famous room which you would see if you were having a tour around, and this is where many people would come from around the world in terms of people from government to meet with the monarch. Now, today we're thinking about a different type of monarch because today we're going to be thinking about Buddhism. And Buddhism is a faith that is actually founded upon a prince, or should I say a king, Prince Siddhartha as he is known. And he gave up all the luxuries of a palace to become a holy man and to really just be in a position that he had absolutely nothing. And today we're going to look about the early part of his life and the things that led him to starting Buddhism off. So that's what we're going to look at over the next few lessons. We're going to be thinking about Buddhism for the rest of this half term. But I do think that you'll find this quite interesting because Buddhism is one of the 6 main world religions. It has some very different beliefs than other belief systems that you may have come in contact with. Now, okay, so to start off with then, what I'd like you to do is on a scrap piece of paper, I would like you to draw 4 pictures that you think represent your life so far. So draw 4 pictures that you think represent your life so far. Do that now, and while you're doing that, we can have our cheesy intro music. Okay, so our title today was Who was Siddhartha Gautama? Who was Siddhartha Gautama? Now there's various different spellings of Gautama, but this is the one I'm going to stick with just for consistency. So we're going to explore who Siddhartha Gautama the Buddha was. That's our learning objective, and our literary objective is to extract information from a number of sources. So our learning outcomes then, it's going to be good if we can identify the main parts of Prince Siddhartha's life. Great if we can sequence most of it correctly, and even better if you can fully sequence it correctly as well. So nothing particularly too complicated in today's lesson, you'll be pleased to know, but as I say, it's one to make you think. So we're going to start with a card sort and some information. There's a little media clip, then there'll be a cube of learning and a mini write as well for you to work on. And you can see there behind me the rough outline of where we're going to go. So we've got Life of Buddha, we've got the 4 Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, the 5 Precepts, Karma, and an assessment, which we may or may not do depending on what's happening later in the world. So to start off with then, I would like you to, using the link in the description below, to access the card sort file. And I'd like you to try and identify what order would you put the things in that card sort in. So have a look at that. See if you can try and work out what order it goes in, and when you've got that card sort in front of you, then continue this clip because you're going to see a little media clip where it's actually going to go through some of that information for you. Okay, so just have a go to see if you can put those in the correct order. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is to access that card sort now and to see whether you can get that in the order that it should go. And then I'm going to play you a little clip, so make sure you've got that loaded up first. Okay, now I'm going to play a little clip to you, and you need to now double check that you've got that in the correct order. So just watch this now. Right, let's see now if you've got that correct. There are the correct answers behind me. So you've got number 1 is born and kept in a palace. Number 2, got married, had a son. Then he thought there'd be more to life. He escaped from the palace. He saw 4 sights. He gave up his throne. He became a holy man. And he discovered the 4 noble truths. So the next thing then that you need to do is you need to have a quick look in that link of the Google Drive to find this worksheet. And next to that worksheet, you will also see a video clip which I would like you to watch. I've been unable to embed that within this clip, but if you click on that, as I say, it will take you straight to where you need and play it. Now, the other thing to say with regards to this is if you can't get it to play for whatever reason, then don't worry about it. Just do a quick Google to try and get the answers to those questions. So again, I'll see you in about 12 minutes or so when you've done that. Okay, so we said it'd be good if we could identify the main parts of Prince Siddhartha's life, and hopefully we've done that really clearly now. Great if we can sequence most of it correctly, and that's what the card sort was for, and even better if we can fully sequence it. So what we've done is we've done our card sort of information and we've done our media clip. So we're now going to be moving on to our Cube of Learning in a moment. So here you can see some of the 4 sites. What I'd like you to do is to have a look at that and see if you can identify, okay, just looking really clearly, there's an A at the top, a B next to the monk, there's a C at the bottom and a D at the bottom left. So see if you can identify which events in the Buddha's life are being shown here. Okay, so A becomes the dead man, the corpse. B becomes the monk, the holy man. C is the old man, and D is the sick man. So the last thing I'd like you to do is you're going to create a cube of learning. Okay, so this is a really good way of you showing what you know. Again, the link is in the description, and that will take you to the Google Drive, which has got this in it. And you can either print this out or design one yourself on paper. And the idea is that you're going to make a little bit of analysis as you go through the life of Siddhartha. And then you can chop it all out, glue it together, and it becomes like a die shape, which you can then look at and be dead proud of. So that will hopefully now take you probably about 10 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer if you can add some colour to make it look pretty. Why don't you take a photo and send it through to your teacher or send it to some of your friends so they're really jealous of your work. Okay, so the last thing then we're going to do is we're going to do our mini write. Okay, so this is the question: can people truly change their lives around? Can people truly change their lives around? So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go through this and sort of doing 5 paragraphs on this, right? So the first one is some people might think that people can change. Why is it someone can have a fresh start, like Siddhartha had a fresh start? Is that something that all of us can have? Why might some people say that you'll always be the same and actually you never have the opportunity for a fresh start? What might some Buddhists think? In your opinion, which is the strongest argument? And if everyone agreed with you, what would happen? So what I'd like you to do is to have a go at answering that. That's going to take about half a page or maybe a little bit longer. And maybe why don't you photograph it, send it to a friend on WhatsApp and say, hey, I've just done this lesson with Mr. Shelton. What do you think of this? And see if you would agree with what your friend says and if they would agree with you as well. So pause this clip now and let's get that job done. Okay, so just in conclusion then today, we said we'd explore who Siddhartha Gautama was. So we said it'd be good if we could identify the main parts of Prince Siddhartha's life. Hopefully you've done that really well. Great if you can sequence most of it correctly, and even better if you can sequence it all correctly, which I'm sure by this point you will have done. So thank you very much for your time today. Take care of yourself, stay safe, wash hands, God bless, and I'll see you very soon for the next part of Prince Siddhartha's life.